Welcome, friends, to another session of Improvised Music and Musings with Gwendolyn Marie. Today, as you can see, we're going to be focusing on things that can be done with two cellos regarding improvisation. And my dear friend, Regina, is both a photographer and a cello student of mine. And she gracefully has agreed to join me in this next little session. The focus is always on how can anything we do transfer to your lives in the name of improvisation. Now, we're not expecting you to take up the cello tomorrow. Not necessarily, although it's never too late to take up an instrument if you have an interest. Regina is a living example. We've been together for 2 years, and it's just wonderful to teach a student who is self-motivated and sincerely eager to learn and talented. So thanks for being here. Now sometimes when people play, they're showing off. That's not a bad word in my book, but we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on what can two cellos teach the world about collaboration and cooperation. We could use a lot more of that, I believe, in the world, no matter what field you're in, no matter how old you are, no matter where you live. At the same time, music goes beyond the verbal. So when I stop talking and we start playing, you're entering into another aspect of music. I think we'll play, and then perhaps I'll comment in between a few different kinds of experiments. And in improvisation, it is like a scientist experimenting. What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? So, what happens if we use our bows and use only the open strings? This will be very short. It's just a little snippet. We're not trying to play a symphony right now. But you may play any of the 4 strings as long as you want to, and you may switch to another string anytime you want to. And we may shake our bows so that we get different rhythms. And we'll go for a little while. And then sense an ending. This is a good talent to have. Sense when enough has gone on and it's time to stop. Wouldn't that be nice with some people you have conversations with? All right, so we begin from silence, and then we just play long bows, or not only long, some short too. The open strings. These are the strings when we don't use our left hand. So it's interesting when you're improvising, you don't know what is going to happen before it happens. although within the mind that is registering what's going on, there may come suggestions. Does it happen with you on this little assignment? You began to think of what to do?
Right. I'm hearing what you're doing and try to play off of it just a little, and to give some variety, something a little different.
That's a perfect example of cooperation and collaboration. We're using the same instruments, we're using the same strings as far as tones, but how we use it can vary in improvisation. And that's where the playfulness comes in, the fun, the experimenting, and, as Regina just suggested, we can copy from each other. When we copy, we are saying basically, I hear you and I am aligning with you. However, to just copy is not the full spectrum that we can use in improvisation. And as Regina mentioned, for variety, you try different things. Either variety between the two of us, or variety even muscle memory and the use of muscles. We do use muscles in our bodies in playing the cello, definitely. It's so big you can't ignore it, and you have to kind of dance with it. And so variety is called for on both the creative level and the physical necessity level. Let's do another one. Only using pizzicato. So we're going to still hold our bows, but we're going to pluck. And put your thumb along the side of it for stability, and then you get to use, like the double bass players almost always pluck. And it's an Italian word named pizzicato, like pizza. So let's just play for a while and see what wants to happen. And in this one, you can also use your fingers at the left hand, so we're not just stuck with the 4 strings. What so often happens when people are playing music together is they begin to get a group think. We don't even put it in words, we don't have notes on paper to tell us that, but very often we will stop at the same time, naturally, not because a conductor tells us. And there again, for improvisation in your own life, whatever you're doing, if it includes movement, whether you're running or driving a car, well, I guess a tractor, anything that includes movement, you begin to sense how to handle the energies. How to handle the energies. And you can transfer that into everything in life. It's not only what we do, but how we do it, and how long we do it, and then how do we let go of it. You might consider these things for your own life, as well as what we're doing. Let's do one more, in which it's based on an image. Translating a verbal image into an improvised sound piece. And because we're both here, perhaps each of us can contribute one word image, and then we'll play the piece and it will have 2 sections. But we'll be playing the same image and then switching to the second image together, so we're not crisscrossing which image are we using. think of an image or look around and take an image.
Can it be wind?
Wind, okay. And I will choose coyote. Coyote. Let's start with wind.
Wind.
We'll start with wind.
Okay.
And then when something obviously changes, we'll attempt something about coyote. All right.